Hello, and welcome back to One Idea Away. I'm Hayden, and today I want to talk about one of the coolest things I picked up from a pro, James Clear's identity-based habits. You've probably heard of his book Atomic Habits, or at least seen clips of it online. He's known for breaking down habits in a way that actually makes sense and doesn't feel impossible to stick with. But the idea that hit me the hardest wasn't even about habits themselves. It was about identity. James Clear says that every action you take is like a vote for the kind of person you want to become. That completely changed the way that I approach my goals. A lot of us say things like, I want better grades, or I want to be stronger, or I want to be more disciplined. And those are fine goals, but Clear points out that goals focus on the outcome. Habits focus on the process, and the process is what can actually change you. He has this line that stuck with me. The most effective way to change your behavior is to change your identity. So instead of saying, I want to be productive, it becomes, I'm the kind of person who doesn't skip the small things. If you want to get in better shape, it becomes, I'm the kind of person who works out even just a little bit every day. And if you want to become a better student, it's, I'm the type of person who reviews notes every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. When I heard that, something clicked. It made improvement feel way more doable. Instead of having this giant goal hanging over you, you just have a small choice you can make every single day. One vote, one action that lines up with the person you want to be. It removes all the pressure from making real change. Clear also talks about how we usually get the order backwards. We think, once I achieve this thing, then I'll be that kind of person. But he basically says to flip that. Become the person first, even in small ways, and the results will follow. His other big idea is the whole 1% better thing. Just improve a tiny bit each day. Not 50%, not all at once, just enough to slightly shift your trajectory. It's like compounding interest, but for your habits. And that feels much more realistic than trying to overhaul your entire life in 1 week to reach some goal. One example Clear uses is reading. If you want to become someone who reads more, don't force yourself into an hour every single day. He says to start with 1 page. And what's funny is that once you read that page, you usually keep going anyways. But even if you don't, you still cast a vote for the I'm a reader in your brain. And it matters a lot more than it seems. It also helps with consistency. On days when you're tired and busy and you don't want to do something huge, you don't want to read an hour, you just have to read 1 page. You need that small identity vote. And on days when you slip up, you don't freak out and convince yourself you're a failure. You say, I just missed 1 page. I gotta read 2 tomorrow. Let me get myself back on track, because that identity piece is still there. I think this mindset's powerful just because it's honest. It doesn't ask you to pretend you're a completely different person overnight. It just asks you to act like the person you want to become a little bit every day. And that's something almost anyone can do. So if there's something in your life you want to get better at, try asking the different question. Don't start with what result do I want? Try who do I want to be? And then what tiny thing can I do every single day that someone like that would do? It's not about being the perfect person overnight. It's about changing your direction. It's about building up the small identity votes until one day you look back and you realize that you're a completely different person. Thanks for listening to One Idea Away. If this episode gave you something to think about or something you can actually use, then it's doing what it's meant to do. I'll see you in the next one. Let's keep improving, one idea at a time.